Okay, so I feel like at this point in time, people deserve to know why Legends is currently not coming out. I mean, it's not been coming out for nearly 4 weeks now, and I'm not gonna you know, make you worry or anything. I can promise you that Legends is not over. It's not canceled. Definitely not. Far from that. What happened exactly is really a shame. Um, Nothing of my team's fault. No one did anything. Someone did something. It wasn't exactly on purpose either, so I'm not necessarily mad at them. I'd say I'm just kind of still overall upset, I guess. So let me explain. So obviously, with Legends, we were at a turning point from Arc 10 to Arc 11. Arc 10 being Voided One arc, and we only had 3 episodes left. So we had the one of the main 3, Balance, Unbalance, and Equality, facing off against Dread, and his, what Dread Steve does, all of his illusions and stuff. We had shown that. I had shown that off, prepared. We were actually going to get ready to record that episode, within that week. We were ready. But with the week the incident happened, we were ready to go. We were waiting on Friday. To Friday, so that would be when Unknown could do it, so we were good with that. That seemed like a good time. We were ready. All of us were prepared. We were going to get it done. We were going to get that done, then we should have been able to, just breeze through the rest. We were going to get this arc done, so we can move to the next one. Really enjoyed this arc. Felt like the story's been told. Time to move on to the next one. However, that obviously did not pan out, and that's what I'm here to explain about. So, I want to say it was a Monday. Pretty sure it was a Monday. Well, before that, the previous Sunday, my team, had just finished a build session, to which we finished off the last builds we would need for Arc 11. So, we were basically done. So we had the builds done. We were ready to completely finish this. We were ready to end it. We were ready. This arc had been well told, like I said, in my opinion. And it was time to move on to the next one. Of course, as people might be able to tell, that is not what ended up happening. So, I wake up on Monday morning, and I want to see I wanted to see the progress, because I hadn't seen it yet. I didn't know how it had been done. I mean, I knew it would have been done well, obviously, but still, I wanted to see it for myself. So I get ready to log on. So I go to Phalix, which is our server hoster, and I click on the server, ready to open. Except, backpedal a step, that's what I would have normally done. But in this moment of logging on, the server wasn't there. At all. It wasn't on the list. At all. It didn't exist. Another server did that we have. It's more of just a fun, unimportant server. But, the recording server wasn't there. At first, I didn't know why. So, then we started contacting each other. I was like, yo, guys, can you turn on the server? I'm trying to look at the builds. It's not showing up on my module for some reason. And then, the other people who have access to the server started replying to me, saying that they also didn't actually currently have access to the server. And obviously, at that point, it's like, okay, well, what's happened? What's going on? Did something happen? Is the server, gone? Did we mess up somehow? Is it hacked, even? None of us knew. Until the owner of Phalix began to explain exactly what was going on, actually. So, again, it's not necessarily their fault. I mean, it is their fault, but, it wasn't anything they tried doing. They didn't try to do what they did. So, I don't, no hate towards them. I get it. Things like this happen. But they wanted to transfer servers. Server hosting, I guess, if that makes sense. More of a overall update, I guess you could call it. So, they did that. The problem is they did that without telling anyone they were going to do that. And what that did was the problem. None of us were ready for it. We hadn't made... Yeah, okay. When we're done a big project, we'll make a schematic of it. But we had just finished them the day before. we hadn't bothered making the schematic yet. We were tired, and like, let's be honest, we didn't think we would need to, because we didn't need the thumbnail yet. But from what we learned, we should have gone the schematic. We should have gone it immediately. You know, it wasn't our, like I said, it's nothing we could have done, really. There was no reason we should have known that we would have needed this. Like, there was no way we could have, like, foreseen that. So, the problem ended up being that due to something in, like, how old the server is, our server anyways, it was going to take longer for our server to finish its transfer compared to some others, like Diamond server, who came back quickly, and other servers that came back quickly. Ours didn't. Well, clearly it didn't, or else we'd be still going. Yeah, they announced when our type of server would be back. And, yeah, they said it would be towards the end of October. Yep. An entire month away. So, we cannot physically continue Legends until we have the builds that we need. Like, they were important builds. We had just finished them, like I said, so we didn't have schematics, so we have to wait for that. I know some of you are going to be like, oh, well, at least you guys can work on Arc 12 or 11. And I'm like, well, you see, there's also a problem with that. Same exact thing. Well, I will tell you guys what Arc 11's called, just because, like, you know, if this hadn't happened, we would be in Arc 11, and you guys would know what it's called. So I feel like it's only fair. The next arc is going to be called the Core Cracker. Okay. Well, the arc itself is called, that's the overall theme. The actual arc is called Cracked. Wait, I'm just making sure I'm reading this right. I came up with the name, and I want to make sure I figured the right one. Yeah, here it is. Okay. The overall arc is going to be called Cracked to the Core. So that's the next arc. And obviously, as you might, so most of you are going to know what that's about. Obviously, it's not that hard to put together. Here is the other problem. That arc requires builds. Builds on a scale like we've never built before. And they were all done. They were completed. But they were also not schematic because in the same thing, we had just finished them. And when I say these builds are big, some of them took months. They took months for us to finish. People put a lot of work into them. They look amazing. But same thing, we didn't think we would have to schematic them that quickly. We thought, you know, we would have time. Which we clearly ended up not having. So those builds are also not available to us until the server gets back online. So again, we cannot work on that. And then, I was like, you know what? Fine. We will work on Arc 12. We'll get something done. Okay, and this one is on us. Yeah, basically the only build we needed, really, still, for Arc 12 was not schematic fully. Like, part of it's not there. And when we found that out, we all kind of just laughed about it. Like, guys, are you kidding me? Like, that's just fully on us. Like, you know, that part's our fault. But, like, again, why would we need that? It's Arc 12, and we're not even done Arc 10. In our mindsets, we're like, yeah, we got, like, time on our hands for this. We're not going to need that build for a while. Yep, we learned that. We learned our lesson on that. So, you know, you live and you learn, I guess. So yeah, don't worry. Legends is not canceled. It physically can't be worked on right now, and I regret that. Sorry. From here on out, whenever we finish a build, you'll be glad to hear we will be grabbing a schematic of that. So no more of this. This will not be happening again, like ever, as long as we can help it. Obviously, we might slip up, but to this degree, this mistake shall not be made twice. So I feel like people are going to be excited to hear that. We got it figured out this time. I'm not going to let it happen again. Everything's going to be good. So don't worry. Legends of Legends is still being worked on. You know, it's a bit easier, seeing as it's a much smaller series, side series, talking about Balance before he was Balance, so when he was Steve Silent Light. I would highly suggest watching it if you haven't. There's a playlist of it. I'm enjoying it. People seem to be enjoying it. But yeah, just wanted to let everyone know that's what's going on. Legends is not in trouble. Don't worry, it's still gonna happen as soon as we get back to the server. We already have a new server, as you can see. I'm on a new server, working on some builds for Legends of Legends, actually. So if you see this build, congratulations. You know what you saw it. You saw it being constructed. Good job. So working on that, working on stuff we can. Hopefully soon we will have something else ready. I'm planning to get this episode out by Friday. So in the meantime, I'm going to make a post soon talking about some of my YouTube friends, people you can go watch until we're back up. And yeah, bye.